Welcome to A Slice with Dice, a place for honest conversations about the realities of education. I'm Corey Alderdice, Executive Director of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I've spent nearly 2 decades navigating the joys, challenges, and unexpected moments that come with leading schools. Each week, I'll share what works, what doesn't, and everything in between when it comes to igniting the full potential of our communities. I'm excited to share this journey with you, so let's get started. I'm really excited to dive into a topic that hits home for so many students, educators, and parents. Why it's so difficult for gifted students to ask for help. If you're an educator or a parent of a gifted child, or if you're gifted yourself, you've probably noticed that these students often struggle with asking for assistance. Even when they're overwhelmed, there's a reluctance to reach out and say, I don't understand, or I need support. But why is that? Well, we're going to unpack some of the key reasons behind this struggle, and by the end of the episode, I hope we'll have a clearer picture of what educators and parents can do to create a space where gifted students feel comfortable asking for help when they need it. One of the biggest factors contributing to this issue is the culture of self-sufficiency that surrounds gifted students. From a young age, these students are praised for their abilities. They're often seen as the ones who just get it without needing much instruction. They're the kids who finish their assignments quickly, the ones who always seem to have the answers. And over time, this constant reinforcement of their intelligence can create a mindset that they should always be able to handle things on their own. So when a gifted student does struggle, when they hit a subject or task that challenges them, it can feel like they're somehow failing. They've been placed on a pedestal of high achievement, and asking for help feels like falling off that pedestal. Instead of feeling like a normal part of the learning process, asking for help starts to feel like admitting weakness or inadequacy. This pressure to maintain a facade of self-sufficiency is real, and it can be paralyzing. The irony is that gifted students, like all students, need support in areas where they aren't as strong. But because they've internalized this narrative of being the smart one, seeking help becomes a much bigger psychological hurdle. Another reason gifted students struggle with asking for help is perfectionism. Gifted students often place extremely high expectations on themselves. They may feel like if they can't figure out something on their own, then they're not as gifted as everyone thinks they are. There's this belief that they're supposed to excel at everything all the time. Imagine the anxiety that comes with the idea of falling short, even temporarily. For many gifted students, asking for help feels like exposing a vulnerability that they're simply not comfortable with. They might worry that their peers, teachers, or even their parents will think less of them if they admit they're struggling with something. And this fear of judgment can be so overwhelming that they'd rather silently struggle than reach out. I've talked with so many gifted students who admit that they'll stay up late reworking a problem over and over rather than simply asking for help because they're afraid of being seen as anything less than perfect. And this ties into another big issue, imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is that nagging feeling that no matter how successful or how accomplished you are, you don't really deserve the recognition. Gifted students are particularly prone to this feeling because their abilities are so often praised and put on display. Over time, some of these students start to feel like they've been fooling everyone. They think, what if people find out I'm not as smart as they think I am? And for students who deal with imposter syndrome, asking for help can feel like proof that they're not really gifted students. It's as though they believe seeking assistance will confirm their worst fear, that they're not as capable as everyone seems to think. This can create a vicious cycle where students keep their struggles hidden, compounding their stress and reinforcing the belief that they need to keep up appearances. Now, there's another layer to this issue. And that's the educational environment gifted students are often in. Sometimes gifted students don't feel challenged enough. They might breeze through most of their work without needing to ask for help. And that can lead to boredom and disengagement, but also a lack of practice in how to ask for assistance when they really do need it. If a student has spent years coasting through their education, they may not have developed the skills to ask for help in a meaningful way. They might not even realize when they need help until it's too late, and when they finally do hit a wall, whether it's in high school, college, or beyond, they don't have the tools to reach out and say, I need support. They've simply never had to do it before, so they're not sure how. Now that we've explored why it's so hard for gifted students to ask for help, let's talk about what can be done to support them. Because the truth is, everyone needs help sometimes. Gifted students might just need a little encouragement to ask for it. I often note in admissions and open house events that the most challenging 3 words a student will learn in their first few weeks at ASMSA is, I need help. And that's okay. Why? Well, we need to normalize the idea that seeking help is a part of learning, not a sign of weakness. Educators and parents can model this behavior by sharing their own experiences of needing support. Whether it's a teacher saying, I had to ask for help with this topic when I was learning it, or a parent talking about how they ask for guidance in their own work, normalizing help-seeking behavior is key. Second, we should emphasize growth over perfection. Gifted students are often rewarded for getting things done right the first time, but that's not how real learning often happens. If we can shift the focus from getting it right to getting better, students might start to see that asking for help is a part of growth, not a mark of failure. And finally, educators can create opportunities for collaboration and peer support. When students work together, they learn that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Gifted students in particular benefit from environments where they're not always expected to be the one with all the answers. So to any gifted students listening, know that asking for help isn't a sign that you're falling short. It's a sign that you're engaged in the learning process. And for educators and parents out there, let's create spaces where these students feel comfortable seeking the support they need. Because in the end, everyone benefits from a little help now and then. A Slice with Dice is a production of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I hope today's reflection sparked some thoughts for your own journey. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Let's keep learning and leading together. Until next time, keep striving for growth and excellence. Thanks for tuning in.